Okay, let's get started. My name is Cesar Almeida, and I am the youth program coordinator at Faith in Place. And I am very excited to have, whether you're a green team leader, you are an administrator at a school, you are a teacher. I'm excited to have you here to learn more about the Eco Ambassador Program, which is a youth empowerment program offered by Faith in Place. Our vision at Faith in Place is to help diverse people of all faiths sharing a commitment to care for the earth. And I love that I have the opportunity to work directly with youth to make that happen and to work with our wonderful regional coordinators who are also here to help make that happen as well. Just want to notify everybody that this is being recorded and will be used for virtual references as well for people in the future interested in learning about the Eco Ambassador Program this summer. So what we're going to do is we are going to start off with a small poll. The first question of the poll is, from which region of Illinois are you joining? So that should be a pretty easy question. Awesome, awesome. We have a Southern Illinois representing. See you. Chicago, north and west suburbs, and other. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next question. Our next question of the poll is, how easy or difficult has it been for you to engage youth in your house of worship, community, or school? Has it been easy, somewhat difficult, or difficult? Awesome, thank you. And I mean, just to add to this poll, please feel free to write in the chat, what has been somewhat easy or somewhat difficult about it? I would love to learn about that. So please, take a moment to write that down in the chat. Okay, so while we're writing, we'll move forward to the next question. And this question is, are there any teens in your houses of worship, schools, or families who might be interested in applying for a part-time summer job opportunity in the environmental field? So if yes, you are at the right place. If you are not sure, you are still at the right place because you can gain some information about our program. Awesome. So I would like to move forward and to share a little bit about the Eco Ambassador Program. The Eco Ambassador Program at Faith in Place is a youth empowerment program for teenagers ages 14 to 18 years old, located and concerned about environmental justice communities. So if you have a youth who is interested in climate change, interested in STEM, interested in environmental justice, or even nature, they might be a really good fit for our program. The Eco Ambassador Program offers environmental education, stewardship opportunities, and professional development opportunities. This summer, the Eco Ambassador Program will run from July 1st to August 6th. So this makes this a 5-week program. We will meet 2 times per week and 1 time on the weekend for an in-person site visit. When we are meeting in the week, sometimes we might meet virtually and sometimes we might meet in person. And the program is from the morning to the afternoon. So who is eligible? 14 to 18-year-olds are eligible. Youth who are interested in climate change, and also youth who are committed to a part-time job. So this is what we're looking for our summer Eco Ambassador Program. And I just want to make a note that sometimes we have youth who are very interested in climate change, but don't really mind having a part-time job and getting paid along with that, which is great. But also we have youth who are primarily coming because they want to work in the summer and they want to join a program that will help advance their professional and educational career. And so because of this, they join. And a lot of times when they're just joining for a part-time job, there's a lot that they get out of it, to learn about community organizing and also professional development opportunities. And I do want to make a big announcement at this moment. When I'm speaking about professional development and educational development, we just made a partnership with Posse Scholarship, and we are able to nominate 3 youth per year in our program for an opportunity to apply for full-time scholarships through the Posse program. And so this is just another example how this serves youth looking to further their education and professional career. So where are our programs taking place? Our programs are taking place in Chicago, north and west suburbs, northern Illinois, and more specifically, Lake County, central Illinois, more specifically, Champaign-Urbana, and southern Illinois, more specifically, Carbondale. In our summer program, as I mentioned, it is 5 weeks. Part of those 5 weeks is hosting weekly workshops, and we'll learn a little bit more about the topics in the weekly workshops. And the second part of our programming is site visits that happen every weekend. I will give you an example of what a site visit might look like for our eco ambassadors.
What about this one here? What do I got here? Right? So, like,
but just walk slowly. There you go.
Rosa Parks go for nothing.
I have to grab one more of these. Hey, they got it.
Thank you for taking the time to watch that site visit. As you can see, the site visit was filled with a couple of activities, one being environmental stewardship activities. In this video, see our eco ambassadors cutting down invasive species called buckthorn, and they're using tools and gaining professional development skills in the environmental conservation field by using those tools and working with workers there. As you can also see, there was an opportunity for recreation. Our eco ambassadors had the opportunity to ride bikes, dirt bikes at that. And so they're feeling a little bit risky. They got onto the mounds and were able to ride bikes. Every site visit will be different every week, but it's an opportunity to explore different natural environments and also environmental justice organizations doing great work in our community. And also our churches that might need our youth help. So these are some other photos of photos from the Eco Ambassador program on site visits, but also concepts that we have been learning throughout the Eco Ambassador program. So as you see, we explore food access in our local communities. We learn about hazardous sites, contaminated sites that are contaminating our air and contaminating our soil. And also we learn about a variety of other issues around water contamination and around urban farming and gardening. And not only do we look at these problems, but we really work together to try to think about the solutions. And at our site visits, apply those solutions in the real world. And so, as I mentioned, the Eco Ambassador Program is not only ran by me, who I am the Chicago coordinator, but is ran by our coordinators, our regional coordinators on the ground, working directly with green teams, houses of worships, and the local community. And so I would like to give us an opportunity to meet each one of our regional coordinators. And I will stop sharing my screen so that we can see each other face to face. And I would like to introduce our Lake County coordinator first. So Lake County, please feel free to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Carla Aldana. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Northern Illinois Bilingual Outreach Coordinator. I'm located in Waukegan, but I'll be helping out with the Lake County youth. And what I'm most excited about for the summer is just one, getting to know the youth and learning from them, but also connecting them to some of the amazing partners that we have up here in Northern Illinois. So I think it'll be a lot of fun, but that's really what I'm excited for.
Thank you so much, Carla. I would like to pass it now to our North and West Suburbs Regional Coordinator.
Hi, I'm Dan Huncha. I'm the North and West Suburbs Outreach Director, and I help coordinate the North and West Suburbs program. In the past, we've been located in Palatine, but basically we pick a house of worship that we can physically be at. If it's a hybrid program, though, obviously we'll be online, maybe, and in person for the site visits. I'm most excited about just really working with the youth and seeing them get excited. A lot of times they'll get sometimes mad, and they'll want to do something about it, and take action. So I love seeing those light bulbs turn on where they're like, hey, we need to do something about this. And then it's even better to see them understand that they can be part of the solution, and that they want to and can take actions that make a difference. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Thank you so much, Dan. And Dan, you do a great job of getting the youth fired up with the climate change workshops. So we will also pass it to Central Illinois.
Hi, I'm Cindy Shepard. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Green Teams Director for Faith in Place, and I'm based in Central Illinois. What I'm most looking forward to this summer is to getting to know the young people that are part of the program and finding where they find beauty. And here among the corn and beans, there's an awful lot of beauty too. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Cindy. And I would love to pass it to our Southern Illinois Regional Coordinator.
Hi, y'all. I'm Wade Halva, he, him pronouns. I'm our Southern Illinois Regional Coordinator. And given the broad definition of Southern Illinois, I'm based in Marion. What I'm really looking forward to most this summer is that this is a new region for the Eco Ambassadors program. So we're starting for the first time, and it means we start fresh. And I get to hear what the questions, what the concerns, what the wonders, what the amazement are of the youth without any presuppositions behind what last year's group was worried about. And so I'm just really looking forward to starting off fresh on a new foot and to see what happens.
Thank you so much, Wade. And you might recognize that we haven't gone over Chicago, and that's because I am the Chicago Regional Coordinator. I am Caesar, he, him pronouns, and I am looking forward to our site visits. Site visits are always really fun opportunities to connect with each other and also meet professionals in the field and get our hands in the dirt. And so I'm really excited about our site visits this summer. So yeah, regional coordinators, thank you so much for introducing yourselves. And I would like to move forward on with our webinar. So I would like for us to encourage our youth to apply now. But before doing that, we might want to learn, okay, what is the best way to apply for our Eco Ambassador program? And so I want to show you directly on my computer, and just like any phone, etc., this is what we can do. And I will also go over the program application very briefly so you can get a taste of some of the questions that are on the application. So if you have youth in your schools, places of worships, or community, and families who want to apply for the Eco Ambassador program, you can simply go to faithinplace.org. When we go to faithinplace.org, excuse me, okay, we go to our programs and we click Youth Empowerment. Now we are on the Youth Empowerment page, which shows up on your computers and or cell phones. And we scroll down. And here's the Eco Ambassador Program application. Here is a packet for our youth to learn more. So if you have youth who are interested in like, what is the program about? You can have them click this packet, or you can also send them this webinar, but I'm sure they'll like to read instead of sitting in a 30-minute webinar. And here is the application button. So I would like to go over the application now. So once you click that application button, it'll take you to a simple Google survey. In the survey, you will find items such as shown on my desktop: applicant full name, applicant birth date and year, home address. The youth will also need to know which region they are applying for: Lake County, Chicago, North and West Suburbs, Central Illinois, Southern Illinois. Youth will have to understand if they're applying as an Eco Ambassador and Earth Ally. To put it simply, if this is their first year applying, they are applying as an Eco Ambassador. If they are returning, they can apply for an Earth Ally position. There is a question on why do you want to join the Summer Eco Ambassador Program. We also want to encourage our youth to help describe their living situation, since we have virtual programming. So we want to learn if they have a front yard, backyard, garden, composting bin, bird feeder, because there will be an opportunity in our summer program to connect with nature and to conduct citizen science. Here's an open-ended question, such as, please tell us more why you want to join the Eco Ambassador Program. We'll also encourage youth to drop a link to their favorite art, idea, book, media about the environment. We ask questions about their technologies just in case our Eco Ambassadors need support, which we can support Wi-Fi and computers in our program. We ask about transportation because we go on site visits. We ask about COVID-19 restrictions that the Eco Ambassadors are facing, and then we have phone numbers, emails, ethnicity, et cetera, all the way until the bottom. And by the way, sometimes our Eco Ambassadors get confused about naming any other organizational affiliations. This might be, if our youth are not at a place of worship, they might be on a basketball team, they might be in a book club, and et cetera. And so that's another organizational affiliation. And this is what our application looks like. So the application will take about 15 minutes for a youth to fill out. And so one thing I want to encourage us to share with our youth is, hey, this is not a long application. If they have the opportunity to apply right then and there, we would love to encourage for them to apply right then and there when you have a conversation with them. So speaking about inspiring our youth to apply, what we're going to do right now is we're just going to briefly go into breakout rooms, not for 10 minutes, but for 5 minutes. And our regional coordinators are going to have a conversation with you. And this conversation is going to be based around these 2 questions. Do you have any youth in your community that might be interested in the Eco Ambassador Program? And how do you plan to inspire them to apply? And so we're going to jump into breakout rooms and have a very quick conversation. And the reason is because we want to activate and engage our youth. We want to be active in this process. And as adults, as leaders in our community that are older than our teens, it's our responsibility as well to help connect them to these types of opportunities. And so let's open up the breakout rooms, and please get ready to just have a brief conversation about these 2 questions. Okay, so we're just waiting for everyone else to join back.
Hello, Caesar.
Hey, Sam, how are we doing?
All right, and yourself?
I'm good. Thanks for joining, Sam.
All right, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I see you got your mustache coming in. You letting it grow.
You don't have to just make myself distinct from the youth because I sometimes look like a youth myself.
Right, you do.
So I had to grow a mustache to,
Yeah, you sure do. Yeah.
Well,
Great.
Hey, Sam, thanks for the laughs right now.
You're
Welcome back, welcome back, everyone. So I don't know if you already know this, but the Eco Ambassador Program is also an academic year program, and we are in season right now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that we do in our Eco Ambassador Program in virtual programming. Because when we're on technology, try to think, what is the best way to facilitate a conversation? It's really difficult. So one thing we do is we look at our breakout rooms, and we had 2 breakout rooms this time, and we get a representative from that breakout room to share out what was shared in what was the discussion like in your room. Okay. So in group 1, we have Carla, Melody, Princess, Sam, Sarah, and Wade. Can we have a volunteer to share out what was discussed in your breakout rooms? What are some ways that we're going to inspire our youth to apply for the Eco Ambassador Program? Thank you.
I guess I'll speak for us. One of the pieces is that there's already a bunch of youth who are passionate about this. So sometimes they're already reaching out and involved in things. And so simply knowing this exists grabs their attention. Other times it is the unique opportunity of this to provide multiple experiences in one program, to provide some income, to provide some service hours, to provide some educational, to provide some networking, to provide something completely different and integrated than what they get the rest of the time. And so a combination of the uniqueness and the fact that a lot of the youth today are just a lot more active, at least in the public sphere than at least I was. I won't speak for everybody, but than I was. So some of that's already there driving it.
Thank you, Wade. Thank you for sharing for group 1. Really appreciate that. We're going to pass it to group 2. Group 2 is Brian, Cindy, Clayton, Dan, Linda, and Ray. So can we get a volunteer to share out what was discussed in your room?
I'll volunteer Clayton because he's going to take the word and spread it all across his region,
Okay.
Denominational region. So Clayton, shout out.
Well, the conversation in our room was just kind of about getting energy behind getting the message out to youth and their families, and talking about different avenues for doing that, be it through grandparents trickling down to parents, trickling down to youth, being distributed to pastors and leaders in different denominations, or just directly within congregations and existing bodies of youth.
Clayton, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Cindy, thank you for as we say in Faith in Place, volunteering Clayton for the position right now to be our representative for group 2. So thank you so much for sharing that, everyone. As I mentioned, we're all the next generation above our youth, right? Or that is before our youth. And part of the responsibility is for us to give them the opportunity to help advocate for the environment, and also to help contribute to our own community initiatives. And because of that, we'll also share some resources on our website for recruitment as well. So if you have a youth, well, you already know how to apply. And we'll also share a flyer on our website following this webinar. But now what I want to do for our last part of this webinar is to make space for any questions that anybody might have about the Eco Ambassador Program in the summer of 2022. If you don't have any questions, we will call it a day, but I do want to make room for questions. You can verbally ask your questions, or you can write your questions in the chat. And so we'll give you about 60 seconds. And if there's no questions that come in, we'll call it a night. Thank you.
This is Brian Coffey. I have a question for Wade because Wade is in my area. I'm from Carbondale. Wade, where would so if I have youth that would apply, where would the application go? How long would it take to find out if they're accepted? And then where would they be going if they live in Carbondale, for example? Where would they be going physically for this event this summer, this particular summer event?
Well, some of that's going to depend. Caesar can give you a better idea of the application timeline, so I'll pass it to him in a minute. Once we kind of see where our critical mass of folks is in Carbondale, I'll be reaching out, and I may ask you if we can use space at Epiphany for part of our base. But we'll be traveling the region a little bit. We'll probably go to the northeast quadrant of Carbondale and look at the Coppers site and talk about how that is an environmental justice site right at home. We may travel out into the Shawnee, and that's so big that I hesitate to limit where we could go in that setting. And we may just hit some of the farmers markets and the local agriculture places. A lot of it's going to depend on what the passions of the youth are as they come out. So Caesar, can you fill them in a little bit on the timeline?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I heard 2 additional questions, which is, I think this applies to everyone, regardless if you're in the Northern Illinois, Lake County area, whether you are in Chicago, whether you are in Central Illinois or Southern Illinois, it is all the same application on the website at faithinplace.org, and under programs, the Youth Empowerment Program, and then you can apply on the website. And then those applications will be received by myself. Then we will follow up with applicants via email or phone call to schedule a 30-minute interview, which will contain myself as the youth program coordinator and the regional coordinator, just so we can learn why the youth is interested. So yeah, that was a great question. Thank you for asking that. And in terms of timeline, applications are due by May 25th, the latest. But we really encourage applications to be turned in as soon as possible, because our program fills up very, very fast. And so the quicker an application comes in, the quicker we can get an interview and learn about the applicant. The youth will be decided by the first week of June, following our interviews after May 25th. So the first week of June, youth will find out. Then that gives them an additional month to be ready and prepare for their summer in July 1st. Great. Linda is asking also a great question. How many slots are available for youth? So the distribution of slots, it varies depending on your region. In Chicago, there will be 13 slots for youth. In Lake County, there will be 7 slots. Southern Illinois, 5. Central Illinois, 6, and North and West Suburbs, 6 slots. However, we do want to mention that these are paid positions and slots. If there are youth who are open and willing to join the program, not on a paid basis, we do allow that as well. And so although these are paid slots, there is an opportunity for youth to also volunteer in this program and take part. However, if a youth is volunteering and being part of this program, we still require their full participation and commitment because it is a sequential program and every week is important and builds on top of the previous week. So thank you for those wonderful questions there, Linda. Do we have any other questions? We'll give you another minute, and if there's no questions that come in, we will call it a night.
Are adults needed to help in some way, like adults from the community? And if so, how are they assessed or screened or brought on board?
Yeah, that's a great question, Brian. That was Brian who asked, right?
Yep, it was.
Okay, thank you, Brian. So one part that we work with adults is through our community partnerships, right? So when we go on a site visit, we're typically working with other adults and or youth at a particular site, who is willing to offer a space or a learning experience that is collaborating with the Eco Ambassador Program and that site. Now, when we're talking about volunteers, Brian, there is a volunteer application, and I will follow up with everybody in this space with a volunteer application as well. And then through the screening process, my supervisor, the program director, and myself, we go through a screening process that is within Faith in Place to work with that volunteer.
Thank you. That was very helpful.
Of course, thank you too. Any other questions? Either questions specifically about the program or about engaging your youth. Please feel free to utilize me on this webinar, because I've been working with our youth for a good amount of time and activating the youth. Okay. Well, Faith in Place family, thank you so much for joining today. If you have any other questions that you are not thinking about at this moment, as you see on the screen, please feel free to email the youth program coordinator, who is myself, at caesar@faithinplace.org. To learn more about the youth program and find the application, go to faithinplace.org/youth-empowerment. And have a blessed and wonderful day and night. Thank you so much.